Hi guys, today is October 27th, 2021. You're going to want to put that date at the top of your new clean sheet of reading notebook paper. And this one is called Footsteps. Go ahead and pause the video while everybody gets that ready. All right. So what you're going to do is finish this story. So these are the first two sentences of a story. You can make it whatever you'd like. The first two sentences are: footsteps slowly creaked on every step of the stairs. The bedroom door handle turned slowly. Dun dun dun. You will have 5 minutes to complete your response or your story, and then you may share. You can pause the video. All right. So this is today's agenda. We'll do all of it with the exception of the scavenger hunt cards because I'm not there and that's a move around the room kind of deal. So hopefully we'll get to that next week. All right. Today's main idea daily practice is going to look a little different than the ones that we have previously done. This time you're going to have to tell or say what the main idea is, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and read it for you. Homemade pizza is delicious. First, make the dough from flour, water, and yeast. After that, begin making the tomato sauce. Next, add any vegetables you like. Then, bake it in the oven. After a short time, the kitchen begins to smell delicious. Soon, it's ready to eat. So the first question that I'm going to ask is, what type of text structure is being used in this passage? Go ahead and pause the video to ask that question. All right, so if you said sequence, you are correct. It is telling the order of making pizza. So what is the main idea of this passage? Go ahead and pause. All right, so if you said the main idea of the passage is how to make homemade pizza, you are correct. And some of the clues were homemade pizza and then the direction signals first, after that, next, and then all told us that this was telling us how to make homemade pizza. Okay, awesome. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to social studies today and you're going to want to grab these two links. So you got your Tenochtitlan City of Wonder from chapter 4 of our text that we're using, and then you have the document with the questions, the sentence summary questions. Let's see. So I will start reading about Tenochtitlan. You might want to pause until everybody's got everything on their screen. Okay, so chapter 4, Tenochtitlan, City of Wonder, right? Now, the big question here is, what does the description of Tenochtitlan reveal about the Aztec civilization? So that's kind of what you want to be thinking about as you're reading the entire chapter here. The first section we're going to read is called A Lakeside Paradise. The first Europeans who came to America did not expect to find a great civilization. Imagine how surprised they must have been when they came upon the city of Tenochtitlan, with its towering pyramids and its population of perhaps 200,000. Tenochtitlan was more than the heart of a great civilization. It was unlike anything the Europeans had ever seen. The city was built on an island in the middle of a lake. 3 wide causeways connected the city to the mainland. A network of canals linked different parts of the city. The Aztec traveled around their capital in canoes. So there you see the city. It says in the caption, Tenochtitlan was built on an island on the waterways of Lake Texcoco. It was connected to the mainland by causeways, and here you can see all the different causeways. All right, so that's the first section. You're going to go to your document and look back at that part of the text and write the who, what they did, where, when, why, and how. Remember, sometimes not all the questions in this particular case are answered. So answer what you feel is answered in that part of the text that I just read. And then you're going to write a summary sentence, and you can pause the video. All right. So we'll go read the next section here. And it is city tour. All right, so we're going to pretend that we're taking a little tour through Tenochtitlan. And you see one of the Aztecs going through the canals in his little boat. And it says the gardens that surrounded Tenochtitlan appeared to be floating, but they were really built on the bottom of the shallow waters of Lake Texcoco. All right, city tour. That's our next section. Imagine that you have hopped into a canoe to tour Tenochtitlan, as it was in the early 1500s. First, you see the gardens on raised beds built on Lake Texcoco. The Aztec created these gardens by digging up mud from the bottom of the lake and piling it up in shallow areas. Then they shaped the piles into long, narrow gardens. The gardens were surrounded by water, so they stayed moist. The Aztec also kept the soil fertile by scooping new mud onto the gardens every year. The rich soil was perfect for growing corn, squash, and beans. Okay. So now, again, you're going to go back to that document, and you are going to, this time, you have a kernel sentence. They had gardens, okay? That's the main idea. That would be like that would be more like a C-, but anyway. And you're going to go ahead and answer the questions using that passage I just read: who, where, when, and how. Okay, so who had the gardens, where were the gardens, when did they have the gardens, and how did they build the gardens? Okay, that's what you need to be thinking. And then you're going to write a summary sentence that uses all those parts, right? And you can pause the video. Okay. All right, and the next section is Aztec home life. As you glide toward the center of Tenochtitlan, you see Aztec men dressed in loincloths and cloaks. Women wear long skirts, blouses, and ponchos. You also see hundreds of one-room houses with thatched roofs and mud walls. Inside one, you meet a girl who is learning to weave from her mother. A few houses away, mothers and daughters are preparing for a wedding feast. During the wedding ceremony, the bride's blouse will be tied to the groom's cloak. This tying together is a symbol of the connection between a husband and wife. So there you see the Aztec women taking care of things. All right, you're going to go back to your document. And as you see, I gave you a kernel sentence: women take care of the family. All right. So you're going to fill in who, which we pretty much already have, right? And then what did they do and how did they do it, okay? So we kind of have two parts of that already answered. The women took care of the family. How did they do that, okay? That's the main thing you're going to want to answer because I've already given you pretty much part of that. And then you're going to create your own summary sentence, okay? And you can pause the video. All right, so once you have finished those things, you have a few more sections to read. Two of them, I have asked you to do a sentence summary. The other two, you should just read, and that's the one for the Ceremonial Center and Montezuma. The second, and so you'll read about him. And once you have finished with that, you will go to your document and complete your paragraph summary. So again, you've got the suburbs and the school. You'll do that on your own. Okay, you'll read that on your own and answer the questions. The market section, you'll read that and answer the questions and write your summary sentence. And you'll finish the last two sections, which again is the Ceremonial Center and Montezuma II. And then you'll go back here and you're going to write your paragraph summary, okay? Topic sentence, 4 supporting details, and concluding sentence, okay? So that's for that. And if you go into today's agenda in reading, you will see that you have main idea practice. So that looks like this. Hold on. I'm sorry, I meant to have this ready for you. Here, this should be it. Okay, I think. But you're about to find out. Okay. Any day now. Nope. Not sea turtles. Ay. Alright, hold on. I'm so sorry. Ay, what the heck? Well, anyway, you have that, and it's ice cream cones. So there are ice cream cones and main idea practice. So there are like, I think 4 or 5 of those. You'll read the passage and you'll use the ice cream cones. So like put in main idea and supporting details. And when you finish that, you'll submit it in Canvas. You do have till Friday to work on that. You don't have to get all of that done today because it will take you a little bit. I think it's at least 4 slides worth of passages, pretty sure. And that's all I have for today. Make sure you take care of any missing work from previous days and from last week. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.